The 2026 World Supersport Championship has mutated into an unrecognizable, fiercely contested battlefield, shedding its predictable past for an era of chaotic innovation. We are witnessing a monumental clash of engineering ideologies as established Japanese and European titans scramble to defend their territory against a shockingly aggressive Chinese upstart. It is a grueling, high-stakes war between the torque-heavy Yamaha R9, the radically stripped-down Ducati Panigale V2, and the dark horse currently rewriting the homologation rulebook, the ZXMOTO 820RR. Yamaha's 2026 R9 relies on its highly acclaimed 890cc CP3 crossplane triple, punching out 119 horsepower and 93 Nm of torque. A fantastic street engine that still feels slightly breathless at the absolute top end on a fast track. Ducati completely abandoned the legendary Super Quadro for a new 890cc 90-degree VVT V-twin, prioritizing linear delivery with 120 horsepower while controversially ditching its iconic desmodromic valves. Meanwhile, ZXMOTO comes with the 818 cubic centimeters inline 3, starts at 135 horsepower for the base model, climbs to 145 horsepower for the Triple R, and peaks at a class-obliterating 150 horsepower in the single-seat RS trim, utilizing titanium connecting rods, valves, and an all-titanium Akrapovic exhaust. Yet, as any seasoned race engineer knows, spec sheet victories evaporate if the chassis cannot translate explosive power to the asphalt. Yamaha attempts to harness the CP3 low-end punch with its lightest delta box frame to date, bringing the wet weight to 195 kilograms. Ducati counters with extreme mass centralization, utilizing a revised aluminum monocoque that slashes the V2 dry weight to a hyper-anorexic 179 kilograms. However, ZXMOTO is offering Grand Prix levels of adjustability out of the box. Not only does the top-tier RS drop to an insane 386 pounds or 175 kilograms curb weight, but the chassis features a fully adjustable rake angle and anti-squat angle, allowing race teams and track day junkies to alter the fundamental geometry to their exact preferences. On the bleeding edge of the track, the dynamic differences are glaring and demand severe scrutiny. The R9 is a point-and-shoot bruiser, violently muscling its way out of apexes but desperately lacking the over-rev necessary to defend against slipstreams on long straights. The deeply reinvented Panigale V2, stripped of its mechanical Desmo character, feels almost too sanitized and clinical compared to its predecessors, trading raw Italian soul for manageable tire degradation. In stark contrast, the ZXMOTO 820RR is an absolute ballistic missile, but its real-world handling remains a massive question mark. While the GP-level geometry adjustability is tantalizing on paper, finding the ultimate baseline setup for such a peaky, high-horsepower triple requires an engineering finesse that Chinese manufacturers have yet to consistently demonstrate on the global stage. Moving to the hardware, the 2026 arms race has escalated to absurd, exotic levels. The Yamaha R9 finally integrates prominent downforce winglets and relies on fully adjustable 43mm KYB forks with solid Brembo-style McCalipers. A great package, albeit with a slightly wooden lever feel. Ducati offers an absolute masterclass in functional aero integration and top-tier Brembo components that provide unmatched, fade-free braking bite. ZXMOTO, however, refuses to be outspec'd. While the mid-tier Triple R features DLC-coated KYB forks, forged aluminum wheels, and standard radial Brembos, the homologation special RS trim arrives dripping in full all-in suspension and genuine Brembo GP4 calipers. A braking setup usually reserved for superbikes costing twice as much. In the digital arena, electronic rider aids dictate who finishes the race, and this is where the spec sheet wars meet harsh reality. The 2026 Panigale V2 boasts a flawless, 6-axis IMU-based suite where the traction control intervenes with ghostly transparency. Yamaha's electronics package is deeply rooted in a 1DNA, offering robust, highly customizable parameters. ZXMOTO has completely overhauled its suite for the 820RR, equipping it with a 6-axis IMU, cornering ABS, multi-level traction control, cruise control, and a massive 6.2-inch Android-based TFT dash with keyless start. The showroom battle is just as cutthroat as the on-track rivalry, heavily complicated by availability. The 2026 Yamaha R9 is the pragmatic track day enthusiast's choice, offering immense CP3 torque and bulletproof reliability for an estimated $12,499. The Ducati Panigale V2 demands a heavy toll for its aristocratic badge and flawless VVT electronics, commanding a lofty $18,995. The ZXMOTO 820RR entirely shatters the market dynamic, offering the base 135 horsepower model for an aggressively disruptive $11,999, with the exotic RS trim expected to demand a higher premium.